Welcome to the Rated Rachael Podcast, where we build the bridge between fantasy and reality. I am your host, Rachel. Hi guys, welcome to the Rated Rachael Podcast. How have you guys been doing? I've been doing all right, trying to take care of myself, take care of my health, and I hope you're well. So I know that I haven't been available on here, and that's because your girl has been trying to get her life together. Like, it hasn't really been easy managing a podcast, managing a YouTube channel, managing an Instagram account, as well as doing some babysitting, handling some babysitting responsibilities, because honestly, I'd say that's what I've been doing, as well as running a part-time job as well. And honestly, at some point, I felt like every single thing that I was doing was about to come crashing down. So, look, guys, at this point, I just feel like somebody should just drop in my lap like thousands of pounds, and I can just like jet myself out and go to some island somewhere. But you know, if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. So I hope you guys are all right. So I have gist for you guys. So the other day I went for a walk like around London, which has literally like been a long time coming. I was like, I needed to resume my walks, going out from walks. I feel like if you live outside of Nigeria, one culture that you would tend to always inculcate are walks, because you literally like indoors all day as a result of the cold, and you get so tired of sitting at home that you just literally need to get up on your feet. And because the transport system works here expediently, like you always look for opportunities whereby you can you always look for opportunities where you can walk, go for a walk, breathe in the fresh morning air. And most particularly in the midst of lockdown, I remember vividly when I was in school that I went for loads of walks, like smelling the flowers, just breathing the air. And I think that's where my love for podcasts even, grew. And yeah, so I really took advantage of walks. But when I moved to London, I kind of like put a pause on that, and now I've decided to resume going out on walks. So I went for a walk the other day in London, packed myself, put myself in some cute clothes, pair of boots that I bought off of ASOS, took my niece, and we went towards the store to ask that I actually literally wanted to return something that I'd ordered from online. So I wanted to use the opportunity to basically like go for a work and then also return that. Kill two birds with one stone, you'd say. So when I was coming back, guess what happened? I found out at the entrance of the store, or rather the exits of the store, somebody was caught shoplifting. Now, it's actually like been a long time where I saw that somebody had stolen and they caught up with the person, and I just thought in my mind, like, wow, this is interesting. And how they even caught the person was the fact that, usually when you buy something from stores, those things that you buy are tagged. And I usually always wonder, like, what would happen if they ever caught somebody steal something. So they literally caught somebody, the alarm system went off, and that was how they knew. And I was like, man, you can imagine how big this store is. It was actually at Asda. So if you're living in UK, you know that Asda is one of those like superstores here in the UK. So I was like, this is particularly interesting. Anyway, that was the gist basically. Like we caught somebody shoplifting. Anyways, back to personal stuff that's been going on. I started skipping again. Your girl is trying to lose like 20 pounds. Only God that is gonna help me, because I don't know how I'm gonna lose these extra weights. I don't know. I haven't the faintest idea, but I started skipping again. I got like a pair of not a pair. I got a skipping rope off of Amazon. So definitely looking towards losing this weight, and I also got some other supplements to literally help with my eating habits, because trust me, I'm a foodie. I like food. I love food. But anyways, enough about me. Let's get into the gist for today. So the last time we were here on the podcast, I did mention about a new movie that was coming up on Netflix, titled Malcolm and Marie. And I remember that I said I was gonna watch the movie just because my girl Zendaya is featured in that movie. Now I finally watched Malcolm and Marie yesterday, and at this point I am stressed. Malcolm and Marie stressed me the hell out. Like, it stressed me out. It's a good movie. So I'm gonna give you reasons why it's a good movie, and I'm also gonna give you reasons why it's literally like a trash, annoying movie. And that's why I said the movie stressed me out. So Malcolm and Marie tells the story of a filmmaker and his girlfriend. They're literally like coming back from their from their award show. The guy has won some awards for his movie, and he and his girlfriend get into this long ass argument. And usually, the last time I watched a movie such as this, because if you have already watched it, you can tell that the movie was acted like in one scene, one location, and of course they had to do it different camera angles and other whatnot, but it was shot in a particular scene. And I think the last time I watched something like that was when I watched 12 Angry Men. And 12 Angry Men also, inculcated that sort of filmmaking technique whereby there's lots of monologues, there's lots of conversations going on in between the characters, and through those conversations you can decipher what the story is all about. And so that what happens to Malcolm and Marie. We see that we have just two cast members, so literally for about 1 hour 45 minutes or 30 minutes thereabouts, you just have two people talking and two people in an argument that's in a never ending argument. I tried to sort of like rally around a couple of my friends that, were able to watch the movie, and part of the things that they all the feedback that I was getting was like, I'm confused and I'm stressed for no reason. And a lot of people were like, I didn't understand what the director and the writer was trying to say. I think somebody else was like, she was literally like emotionally exhausted, that she really didn't see the point of the movie. So I'm gonna look at it from the angle of like most Nigerians, because I think a larger part of my audience are from Nigeria. And a lot of Nigerians were like, nah, this is rubbish. Usually Nigerians love this kind of movies whereby by the time you get into it, you can easily tell what the plot is all about and what direction the movie is going towards. But I think I agree that this movie is stressful, because honestly, if I'm watching a movie and I have to like pause, and I have to like pause, then I just know that, oh god, this movie is about to like stress me the hell out. But I'm gonna talk about, like, before I go into the themes that were discussed in this movie, I'm gonna talk about the acting. So the acting is literally like phenomenal. You can't fault the acting. It was super, super amazing. I was literally impressed. Zendaya is somebody that I've watched her career grow. Like, I've watched her grown, like, from her Disney days, and I was particularly impressed at her ability to interpret the character of Marie. Usually, like, we always see her in this girly, face, but to see her encompass such, I mean, the movie was so intense. Like, it was so intense, and I like the fact that both John David Washington, who is Malcolm, and how both of them were able to showcase the brutal honest nuances of a relationship. They were able to portray their passion, they were able to portray the art, the pain, the insecurities that they've experienced in the past relationships that they've had, and how the love they share for one another supersedes everything. However, can I just say that this relationship that was expressed by these two characters was toxic as anything else. It was just their relationship is literally very, very toxic. And where I knew, I could tell at some point that this movie was going to be one like long ass monologue was when somewhere towards the beginning of the movie, Marie was like, okay, she doesn't want to get into a conversation. Like, she knows that if they should get into the issue that is happening, then it wasn't ever gonna end. And I feel like that was literally like the turning point. That was when everything just went like all hell broke loose. Okay, things are going to like really go crazy from this point in time. And I think what I found, one of the few things that I found most interesting about this movie was the fact that it was shot in black and white, and so we could tell that this movie is told from the perspective of, it's not a colorful movie. It's not supposed to be a beautiful story, because I feel like when things are in black and white, so usually when it comes to pictures, right, once something is black and white, it's literally like stark, and it means that they want you to see the image rather than the color. So I feel like if the movie was colorful, like you would have seen Zendaya's eyeshadow, the beautiful dress she wore, and it would have taken attention from the conversation that they were having. I don't know if you get. So they wanted us to see the image, like who these people truly are, and the words that the words that they're saying, their emotion, actions that they were taking. And I feel like that's what, this movie was literally all about, and the reason why it was shot in black and white. So they wanted to take away the attention from all the color in their lives and making us to believe that, okay, maybe these people are not in over their heads. Maybe, this is something regular. And I feel like they wanted us to focus solely on the message in the story. So what exactly is the message of Malcolm and Marie? I think one major important thing is gratitude, and which is actually like the triggering element of their argument. If you notice from the beginning of the movie, Marie is like, oh, you didn't thank me, you didn't thank me, you didn't thank me, you forgot to thank me. It's like, oh, I apologize, whatnot. All I was just thinking was like, oh God, it's not about the apology. Like, it's the fact that you are in a relationship with somebody and you forgot something. So the fact that you are in a relationship with somebody and you forgot something so important, something that is vital. And of course, towards as the movie goes along, we discover that the film he actually made was inspired by the events that happened to her. So we could particularly understand why she was so heartfelt about it, and so pained about it. And there were just a couple of red flags that I saw towards their relationship. I think that Malcolm is such a problematic man. Like, he's so mediocre. Just the same way Marie described him. And the reason why I said so is because of his Malcolm has this inability to like read the room, because I remember towards the beginning of the movie, Malcolm said that he wanted to know why she doesn't want to speak to him, this, da, and she kept saying that she was tired, she wanted to go rest. I'm like, oh God, can't you tell that the baby's tired? Like, why are you just pestering her over and over again? And I just felt like this is just like an annoying situation. Like, why would you forget to thank someone? Why would you keep defending yourself about something that you did wrong? And I think both of them, both Marie and Malcolm, both of them have problems. Honestly, we could tell that Malcolm is a needy man, and the relationship that they're in is literally like very toxic. I could also tell that Malcolm lacks inconsistency. Like, it was just the lack of consistency on Malcolm's part for me. Like, he says he's gonna do something and he's not gonna like do it. And for me personally, what I could also decipher was the fact that people who have probably like helped others like in mental or rehab situations shouldn't like literally date each other because it becomes unhealthy. And we could see that Malcolm has a pattern of dating people that are damaged, from the bathroom scene where he keeps mentioning all the girls he's dated and all the things he's done with them, yada yada yada. I just felt that was literally just that disgusting. How can you bring to the forefront, you're having a conversation or an argument with your current partner, right? And you begin to bring back issues that have happened with an old partner. Somebody that is literally already an ex is an ex, and the person is out of your life, and you're supposed to be building a new life with this new person. So bringing those old people back into the conversation is just like plain selfish and ridiculous and mediocre, just the same way Marie described. So, when I was watching that scene where Malcolm was in the bathroom and he kept talking about all those ladies he'd had fun with, all that kept going through my mind was, why is this man, or why is he so bent on having the last word? And of course, she herself, I could also tell that, and I also could tell from her own perspective that she also wants to have the last word. But it wasn't just about the last word on her own part. It was about reaching his inner soul, about trying to connect with him, about trying to get him to understand the reason why she's angry, the reason why she's upset, the reason why she's saying the things that she's saying, and why she wants him to see things from his own from her own perspective. Because I could also tell that Malcolm is this sort of like egotistical man. And why I said he's egotistical is because when the review came in, he just kept hampering on the things that the reviewer said and she shouldn't have, and the things the reviewer said and what she probably meant by what she said. And Marie kept trying to tell him that, Oga, this thing that she said is not what you're supposed to focus on. You're supposed to focus on something else, but you're blowing it all out of proportion. And I just felt like, man, this guy is like, he's not getting the gist of the situation that they're in at the moment. And because, okay, for example, I would like to consider myself a film critic or a film reviewer, and that's exactly what it is that we are doing right now. So usually a film reviewer they take them bit by bit, right? And as critics usually will just do their job. They'll just tell you, oh, I don't like this part, I like this part, this is what this means, this is what that means. And what Marie was trying to tell him was that these critics, they are doing their job, and you should focus on your own job as a filmmaker and just do it. And I love the fact that despite all the annoying things that he was doing, like insulting her, of course she insulted him back, I'm not defending her, but she also kept trying to draw him towards his craft, like what he does, like his art in itself as a filmmaker. And what even hurt me the most from their whole argument was the fact that Malcolm kept blaming her for not trying enough to be in the movie, because she was like, why didn't there was a point where Marie was like, why didn't Malcolm cast her in the movie? And I just thought about it like, right. Is she trying to, all that was going through my mind is she trying to like make a mountain out of nothing? Is she trying to like blame him for not, choosing her to play that role, or was he trying to belittle her? And I think I'm right to say that he actually was trying to belittle her, and he didn't trust her enough to bring her A game to that role, because he kept insulting her and he kept bringing back all the things that have literally happened to her. So the slashing of her wrist, the mental problems that she's gone through, and even the fact that while she was even crying that she wanted to be in a movie, he kept insulting her over and over again. And I don't know, and I know that like people do experience situations like that. People experience those kind of relationships. Look, guys, I am very, very, very big. I'm very, very big on verbal abuse. Like, when I mean big on it, like, if you abuse me verbally, it's a problem. Like, I'm already having problems with you because I'm very, very like sensitive to words, like words that are spoken to me. Something as simple as, oh, you are stupid, I'm already offended. And this is because when I was growing up as a child, when I was even much younger, I heard those things over and over again. I remember even the boarding school that I went to, part of the first couple of words that we learned, usually when you're learning a new language, were bad words like insults. And as I grew older, I discovered that those words affected the way I looked at myself and I identified myself. So any small, you are stupid, you are mad, you are foolish, like it gets to me, like I'm already like looking at you, like from what angle or from what heart are you saying these things? So usually when somebody says something bad, I'm always literally like thinking, you thought about this thing before it came out of your mouth. Because I believe strongly in out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaketh. So what is inside your heart is what is gonna definitely come out of your mouth. So before it comes out of your mouth, you've already thought about it. So in Malcolm's case, all those insults, and even for Marie as well, all those insults that they've been passing back to back from each other, it's been in their hearts for so long. And I feel like what literally like escalated their situation is because Marie observed like the kind of man that she's with, in how that anytime she's about to like solve, would I say solve now, present a case, anytime she's trying to present a case or an issue that they're supposed to discuss, he sort of escalates the situation and tries to block it off by being overly like sexual and being over like, I'm horny and I want to get down with you, I want to kiss you, I want to, like, he just tries to cover that up. I remember I saw like a couple of posts on Twitter and some people were like, oh man, this is my ex, this is the way he used to behave. This, and I feel there's so many people like in those kind of relationships. Look, they are not gonna change. This is just who they are. This is just who they are, and they need help. And it's so obvious that both Malcolm and Marie, they are not even supposed to be together. Yes, they can love somebody. You don't have to. Oh Jesus Christ! Yes, they're in love and what have you, but I don't think they are not even supposed to be together. Both of them are supposed to be seeking help for their various situations because both of them have problem. One person, how can you be in a relation with somebody, some quarrel has ended, before you know somebody has picked it back again. And that's why I told you that this movie really stressed me the hell out. And I was like, man, people do live these kind of lives where they are frustrated in a relationship but they can't get out. I'm like, what do you mean you can't get out? Look, if there's anything that I pick from this movie, if you just find a situation that is frustrating you or stressing you out, get out. Especially because right now we're in 2021, no time for stress. Me, I don't have time for stress. Sure, you get. So just get out, move. Okay, so let's get back to the movie, right? So particular scenes that actually stood out to me was the screaming scene after they had argued and they went out onto the balcony. And I remember the song that was, playing, the song where you're like, get rid of him, get rid of him. It was so funny. I laughed. That was actually so hilarious. That was actually like it actually de-escalated the whole tension that I was feeling personally as an audience. And I could see him fuming. Malcolm was really, really so angry and like, guy. And something interesting about the music, the music chosen for that scene was how that get rid of him but I love him, so it's kind of like, okay, I want to get rid of this guy but I still love him. Well, what am I gonna do? And he literally got angry and then they were both screaming at each other. When they screamed at each other, I laughed. I said, two of you don't know what is going on. You don't even know what you want out of life because two of you are mad. And I kind of like just remembered my niece. Usually when I and my niece, right, when I'm trying to like feed her for her lunch or dinner, that's how she'll be screaming. And her screaming is fake screaming, trying to threaten me. So if she screams, me too, I'll scream back, And when I scream back, she'll not keep quiet. I'll be like, guy, or you think say you wise, Abby? You think say now only you sabi scream? Even myself, I can scream. I think another scene I really loved was when Zendaya literally like acted within the acting. So I'm talking about the knife scene where she picked up the knife and she was like, she was telling Malcolm that she has slept with all his friends and how that she's tired, she's trying to come clean, but she's not clean, blah 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 blah. And I almost believed her. I was feeling so sorry for her until she now said that that's what authenticity buys you. I'm like, what? You mean this girl was acting to this guy? The whole thing was just like bordered down hilarious. Yeah, so it was actually very funny. I found that scene very funny, and I think the most interesting part as well for me, I mean, Malcolm had some amazing scenes. There were some areas where he was ranting about the reviewers thing. He had some very like long ass monologues, the bathroom scene. But I think towards the end of the movie where Marie was like, all she wanted was a thank you, and I'm like, damn, this matter when I for don't settle am since, just say thank you. And that was literally like gratitude, the gratitude that she wanted from him that she didn't get. She just wanted him to say thank you, or God thank you. And you know what even annoyed me, in addition, he didn't even say he did. Do you know that if you notice, if you go watch it again, he didn't say thank you until much later. He didn't say thank you immediately. He said I love you. And I'm like, is that this guy, is it that he's hard of hearing? Like, does he have a problem? Like, is he deaf and dumb? She said she wants him to say thank you. The guy say I love you. I was like, this man is really insane. He really needs to go and get himself checked. Because honestly, nah. There was also something that this lady said, Marie. She said, like, once you know someone is there for you, and once you know they love you, you never actually think of them again. When you're about to lose someone, that's when you pay attention. And I noticed that Malcolm was doing that consistently. Like, when he noticed that like Marie, like, it's maybe she disappears, or so there was a scene where she probably went to the toilet and he was looking for her, screaming. When he realizes like, he's about to lose her, then he now comes out. That's when he now begins to pay attention. And I feel like, man, relationships are really, really like a lot of work, and every single one of us, we need to work on ourselves, because ain't no gonna be like stressing other people's children all in the name of relationship. We don't have time for that. So I'm just gonna end today's podcast on a note that like it's literally like, if you watch Malcolm and Marie, it's basically us. It's basically like exposing how the human mind work. 1 minute they're acting that they are being friends, the next they are abusing each other. Like, I'm just like, God, and speaking such explicit crazy words to one another. Damn, I cannot even fathom. And there was something Diary of a Niger Girl said. She said, like, if you're in a toxic relationship, that you need to watch this movie, and you need to watch it, and as you do, you see yourself, the endless arguments, the love and the disgust you feel at the same time. You can't decide what side you want to be on. She said that there was so much disrespect, and it's so sad. It's so sad that two people who claim, I'm going to use the word claim here, who claim that they're in love, but they can't find that steady happiness within each other. And there was something she also said, that like, if you are not, or you're not in a toxic relationship, just thank God for the peace that you have. Thank God for the peace that you have. Like, if you are in a relationship and you have peace of mind, just thank God for that peace, because nobody can take it from you. And so that's basically my thoughts about Malcolm and Marie. Like I said, it was a very, very stressful movie, and I hope that this episode did not stress you out, because that was not my intention at all. I did not want to stress you out. But I did promise that I was gonna talk about it. Yeah, watch it at your own peril. If you are a movie person, if you are a feel good kind of person, this movie is not going to make you feel good. I'm sorry to say, it's not going to make you feel good at all. It's going to make you question relationships, the people that you meet, and the way they think. And it also stretches towards like toxic friendships as well. There are friendships like that as well, where people insult each other, abuse each other. It's just, why do you people, why would you rather choose to fuel relationships that seek to pull you down? Like, it's a waste of time. If you find out that you don't have peace of mind in your friendship, get out of it. Like, get out of the kitchen if the heat is too much. You can't afford to sit in a place where you keep on being frustrated, you are angry, you are using words that are not edifying. Look, if words are not edifying, if I don't hear edifying words from you, I don't even know why I'm a friend with you in the first place. Like, that friendship is gone. And I don't think I have any friend like now in this present time that uses unedifying words. Like, if I do happen to get into that circumstance where I find myself amongst people that use such unedifying words, I'll cut myself out quickly, because they say, show me your friend and I will tell you who you are. So you get what I mean? So it's very, very important for us to watch the company that we keep and the words that we say, because truth of the matter is, another thing I picked up from this movie is the fact that words can hurt. Words can hurt. So you gotta watch the words that you speak to people. You have to watch the words that you speak to people. You have to watch the things that you say, because they have the ability to tear you down bit by bit, bit by bit. And that's exactly what happened to Malcolm and Marie. They're from alone. If they were going to ever like give us an opportunity to see into the next day of their lives, that relationship would not work. Like, it would die like fire unless both of them go and seek help. All right, so yeah, I don't want to be a downer, but I do hope you guys have a beautiful week. That's all for today's episode of the Rated Rachael Podcast. I do hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful time. Don't hesitate to share with me your thoughts about Malcolm and Marie on Instagram at the Rated Rachael Podcast. And you can also send me an email at theratedratepodcast@gmail.com if you want to feature an episode of the Rated Rachael Podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening today. Don't hesitate to leave me a review, 5 stars if you enjoyed this episode. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.